All right, welcome back to Road Back to 500, episode number 5. I cannot believe we're 5 episodes in already. But anyway, last week I talked about potentially making a switch to low bar. Tried it out a little bit. It went pretty well. Now that it's the following week, I do want to make that switch. However, I'm going to be cautious with it. We're going to move things slowly and just kind of ease back into it. I don't want to just go full blown. I don't want to just up my percentages drastically. I want to make sure my body can adapt to the new training and keep up with things. So what I'm going to do is kind of flip-flop things from last week. Before, what I was doing was working up to an 8 RPE on high bar on Mondays, and then I was doing doubles and 4s Wednesday and Friday, but at the same exact weight. Now I'm going to do high bar up to an 8 RPE on Monday, and then low bar Wednesday and Friday with the backed off percentage and the normal percentage. But we're going to still use the same training max that we were using before for high bar. Even though I can clearly do a lot more work, I want to just take things slowly, progressively, make sure we don't shock my body too much and risk further injury for no reason. So we'll make slower progress. We won't make big jumps in weight week to week, and we'll just see how it goes. My spinal erectors were pretty sore for the first 2 days after that, which was something that I kind of thought would happen. I had to use them a lot more with low bar. They didn't feel injured by any means. They were just like, holy crap, we got used hard for the first time in a long time sore. So it was regular muscle soreness, but it is something that I have to be cautious about. So today, I worked up to an 8 RPE on high bar. I worked up to 355 pounds today, and they moved pretty well. So the one thing that I really noticed was, now that I'm back to doing low bar, you kind of forget how unstable you are at the bottom position of the squat with high bar. It feels really unstable, and that's normal. I mean, it's to be expected, but just with the addition of low bar back into my training, it just really was more noticeable than usual today. But it moved fine, it moved okay, and no complaints. So like I said, I feel really good, and hoping the rest of the week continues.
Oh. Yep. Grinder. Nice work.
All right, well, I didn't smoke it.
You finished though, that's all that matters.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, guys, so I'm here. It's Wednesday, and as mentioned before, I got doubles. We got 395 on the bar. I am sticking with the low bar. I'm a little fatigued today because, as you're gonna see later in the week, that guy back there tried to kill me with the back workout yesterday. So I am exhausted today, but thankfully, even though it's 6 sets, it's only doubles at 395, which is way backed off, so it shouldn't be a big deal, hopefully. I was also surprised to see him here today. I didn't even know he was gonna be here, so pleasant surprise. So I get to work out with him again today. I just walked in the gym and rolled around the corner, and there he was. And on top of that, we got another guy back there. He's rolling around on the ground. I don't think you can see him. Nope. But anyway, another YouTuber, Johnny. He's back there, so I will put their links in the description below as well. Make sure you check them out, and it should be a good time. And I will check in, and we'll see how things go.
I sweat like it's nothing.
Yeah. I'm doing chin-ups on the bars you set. I feel like I'm the only one. I feel like no one saw it coming, not a single one. I hear you taking shots, pulling up a paper gun. These days, no one real, not a single one. Hard racing on the run, kill a beat and let her run. Yeah, they thought that I'd be done, now they say that I'm the one, but they keep it 100, I school kids 101. I spent money on a chain, what'd you get it for? Money hangs you by the neck, I bought into the metaphor. 1 in the morning, I'm like, I gotta work a little more. Work in the bay so they can play me up in Ecuador. Small circle, but I know they all got me. Capture the moment, yeah, that's where they on savvy. Why does everybody wanna tell you, get a plan B? Don't lose your soul just to make them all happy. You gotta get up if you wanna see the sunrise. Why you living like you got more than one life? I'ma run the game, never cared about a shoe size. Tell me how to live when you're perfect in your own life. Cause nobody's out here.
He's dead. You killed him, Rel. You killed him. He's dead.
It is different training one fun training by yourself at your own tempo.
You did that to him. How do you feel?
I feel good. I can't lie, like, I feel honored.
All right, as I mentioned, pretty easy stuff. It has been extremely easy. It's blowing my mind how easy low bar is. So the 395 for doubles moving extremely well. No problems at all. Kind of feel a little bit guilty actually because my boys, Johnny and Rello over here killing it. Slinging weights, trying to die, and I'm over here just doing easy doubles, but that's all right. We're getting work done, so good to feel good again. I will talk to you guys on Friday.
I let go of my past just so I can make some history. Lose the ones around you, tell me how is that a victory? Wake up every morning like I'm running out of time. I'm driving late at night just to get some peace of mind. Walk up in this house, they like wine chewing class. Look at what we give you when you act like it'll last. We fixed you up a car and you can barely pay your gas. Yeah, you making all this music, take a look at where you're at. And now I'm walking out the door, feeling so nameless.
Alright guys, so it is Friday. I'm a little bit behind here. I've already done all my squats, so I met Paul for pancakes again, so we made some pancake gains again today, but that doesn't seem to translate into very good squats. I don't know why. But it went okay. They were a little heavier than they were last week, and part of it, I'm trying to figure out feet positioning with my low bar squats, because typically I need to go a little bit more flared out with low bar than I do with high bar. And when I do that, I get just a little bit of discomfort on my right hip, just a tiny bit. And part of that is, you'll see I'm going to put some footage up of front angles from me. And one of the issues that I have is you'll see one side is a little bit more out, a little bit more up than the other side. Or one side's more up, one side's more in, if that makes sense. I'll show you on the screen. And when I turn my feet out, the movement feels better, but it's also a little bit more pressure on my external rotators. And it's just a balance that I'm trying to make here. But since the weight's not too heavy right now, I'm just playing around with things a little bit. So I went in, I went out, I'm trying to play around. It definitely feels smoother with my toes flared out a little bit more. So hopefully I can get around that. One of the reasons I have this issue is because my right glute doesn't fire properly, okay? Now, I mean, it fires, but what happens is I don't use it properly to externally rotate, all right? So instead of using my glute to externally rotate, I have a tendency to use more quad, and basically all the wrong muscles do this. So this is one of the things that I've been working on with my physical therapist on, is trying to get that to fire right and work properly. So that's why whenever you see a front angle from me, a lot of people always say it's uneven and, I need to watch that. Well, I'm aware of that, and it's actually, believe it or not, it has improved pretty significantly over time, but it's just not where it needs to be yet. So it's just one of those things I'm working on. But overall, I mean, they moved fine. They felt okay, a little bit slower than before, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm going to bench now. I am doing 302 for doubles, and the first set moved really well. Now, one of the problems I have, anytime bench is not moving very well, if I'm really honest with myself and I look back at the video, I can always tell that I get a little bit sloppy with my arch. So today, I'm focusing really hard on getting a nice, high, tight arch, and it makes a world of a difference. So I'm gonna hit these up, and then I've got doubles at 473 on deadlifts after that. I will hit those up. I don't know if I'll talk about them or not, but at a minimum, I will play it out so you can see them. And yeah, that's all I got for today. So if I don't talk to you again, have a wonderful week, and I will see you guys in the next video.
1 hour later.
Okay, I had to check it back in because I almost died today. But honestly, bench went really well. I was very encouraged by bench. Like I said, I got into much better position, and they moved very well. I couldn't be happier. I've never had 300 pounds move that well. Then I got into deadlifts, and that didn't go quite so well. I was just feeling pretty gassed, and they were moving pretty slow. I was supposed to have 3 sets of doubles at 473. The first set, I actually kind of hurt my knee a little bit. Like, I don't know, I looked back and I didn't really get my hips open very much, so that might have been part of it. So my knees were kind of coming in a little bit more than they should. So the first rep, like, I just got a little bit of knee pain. I just wasn't quite sure about it. I wasn't too worried. You see, I just kind of shook it off and got back in and got the other rep done. Went into my second set, and that second rep was slow and grindy. And there's good and bad news about this. The bad news is obviously that I was pretty much gassed at that point and couldn't do more. The good news is I am so happy with my positioning and the way that I was able to finish that rep, because you guys that have been following me for a long time just know how poor I am at locking out a movement, and being patient off the floor has always been my biggest struggle. And that rep, it felt, in my mind, it felt like it took freaking 3 seconds to get off the floor, but it still came up and I still locked it out, so that was awesome. I can't lie, like, as it was just starting to break the floor, I had thoughts of letting it go, but I'm like, I've got to feel this weight. I've got to feel when it feels like this and know that I can actually complete the rep. So I just kept with it and I got it, which is awesome. But obviously at that point, I was pretty much cash. So I messaged my coach real quick. He said, all right, let's do one more set still, but back off 85% of what your working weight would have been, which is like 402. So I just pulled 405 for another double, called it a day. And I think I got a deload coming this week, hopefully. And yeah, but I'm happy. Like, a lot of work has gone into this deadlift, and clearly the positioning and the movement has gotten a lot better. So I'm encouraged by that. But it's just weird. Like, it seems like every other week it's good and bad with deadlifts. One week I'll absolutely smoke it. The next week I'll suck, and then I'll go back to smoking it again. But it is what it is. Overall, I'm happy with this week. Things went well, and now I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.